Undeniable. Forever.
Back with episode 54 with Tessa Blanchard. How are you?
I'm doing
TNA
good.
superstar and Ross. Welcome, bud.
Thanks, Corey. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and Ross, what do you do with your social media?
Head of media relations for
Head of
TNA
media-
Wrestling.
So you're a busy dude.
Very busy.
So this past week, I know you've been a busy dude.
Yeah,
Because you guys are all over social media.
Oh, we've been all over El Paso, every which way, every TV, radio station you can think of, all the way back here to find ourselves with the Rhinos.
And you were here on Friday night, and, just being biased, it was probably the highlight of your guys' tours.
Oh, it was so much fun.
Jay, you rode the Razor. That was a huge hit, by the way. And Jay, the guy that throws the T-shirts out, he couldn't stop talking. She almost killed me. She almost killed me.
I
She grabbed me
saved
by-"
him.
Yeah, you saved him.
I saved him.
And it's just funny because he's like, he's just.
We start doing the spinneroonies, and he's like, I'm going to fall off. And I'm like, you're not. I've got you. And I reach back and grab him.
And you can see in the video, you can see like you're all stretched back and you're grabbing him by the hoodie. It was awesome. You should have pulled a little harder.
Oh, man.
I'm sure his wife would have liked that. You know what I mean? But yeah, so you guys have been everywhere in El Paso.
Yeah.
You got the event coming up this weekend, Friday, Saturday,
That's right here at the Coliseum right next
right
door.
across the parking lot. And like I said, I'm going to just, after one of the periods, I'm going to go out the doors and I'm going to make a hard left and go to the back. And Tony's going to
Get in the
open up the north
Raptor.
end doors. I'm going to drive in as your
A few
wrestling?
donuts in the parking lot.
I'm going to jump out and help you.
Yeah, maybe you should just drive me to the ring.
That would be good. That would be pretty funny.
Spin all the way in there.
Think we can get that cleared, Ross?
Absolutely.
Anything to sell tickets.
You know it.
And that's a big part of it. So tell us a little bit about your background, your history.
So I've been a professional wrestler for 11 years. My dad was a professional wrestler, Tessa Blanchard. He's in the WWE Hall of Fame.
That's awesome.
My grandfather, Joe Blanchard, he ran Southwest Championship Wrestling back in the territory days, which started in San Antonio, Texas. And then my stepfather, Magnum TA, he's an NWA legend. So I was destined to get into professional wrestling.
It's not like you had a choice, right? Do you have any siblings that are in?
Oh, I'm one of 7.
That are in the business?
No, I'm the only one.
Really?
And we're so different, my siblings and I. We are so different. But my little brother, he's a twin, and he just started his wrestling training with Lodi out in North Carolina. So anxious to see what happens. I told him, I was like, pick something else. Pick something else.
Well, it's such a cool career, though. Everyone watches it and just the storyline that goes with it. And you guys are amazing athletes. Because what you guys do, you get on the top, the turnbuckles and do flips and that has to hurt even when you hit or miss.
I tell you what, adrenaline is a hell of a thing. It's a hell of a thing. Sometimes I'll be on the top rope and I just have like this 1, 2, 3 screw it rule. I'm keeping it PG right here.
Yeah.
I get up there and it's just 3, 2, 1, go. It's either going to end really good or really bad, but we're here for it all. But yeah, I love it. It's taken me all over the world, more than 9 countries. I've gotten to wrestle in arenas like Madison Square Garden.
That's awesome.
I've gotten to win I was the first ever female to win the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, even though I may not look like a heavyweight right now.
Well, you're pretty fit, though. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't mess with you.
That's a good. You know what? I knew you were smart.
Right?
I knew you were smart.
I'm not as dumb as I look, Ross. You know what I mean?
No, you're spot on.
Contrary to what Ross said.
Right?
I didn't say anything.
So you reside in Mexico City.
I do.
We talked about that a little last Friday.
From Charlotte, North Carolina. Most of my family, my roots are San Antonio, Texas, but
Right.
I've lived kind of all over. Right now I'm in Mexico City. I've lived in Tijuana. I've lived in Japan. I've lived in London. I've just kind
Everywhere.
of been all over.
And obviously that's chasing the dream, right? You're
Chasing the dream, man.
doing
Chasing the dream. I remember when I first started, it was like, okay, Charlotte, North Carolina, I want to maybe get an opportunity. So I'm going to drive 21 hours to Whitehall, New York and sleep in the back of my grandpa's van in a Wawa parking lot.
Right.
And just because I
Wawa
love
parking.
wrestling, just to try to get an opportunity, set up the chair, set up the ring, and pay the dues. But if you stick with something, if you're resilient, it's kind of intriguing what can happen.
Absolutely. And for the listeners out there, especially the younger ones, you hit it on the head. It's nothing's for given. Everything's earned. You know what I mean? For the efforts and the dedication and the sacrifices that you've
I
made.
talk about that a lot because I remember early on in my career, people would say, oh, you get this opportunity because of your name. Oh, this because of your dad. Oh, this because of XYZ. And I'd be like, look, Your last name might get your foot in the door, might get you in front of the right people, might get you in that room. But once you get in the ring, it doesn't take the bumps for you, doesn't drive the miles for you, doesn't pay the bills for you. It's maybe who you know to get there, but what you can do to stay there. And so all the training, all the hours, you got to be able to back it up once you step through the ropes.
And you've been doing this for a long time, and so again, the listeners out there, it doesn't happen overnight.
No.
And it takes a lot of time, just like any sport that you want to be, or anything really in life that you want to succeed at. It takes time and dedication, sacrifice. I can't imagine the sacrifices that you've made to become where you're at now. And you have a smile on your face, so the gerbil's turning in your head. You know what I mean?
I always say, like,
it's worth
especially as athletes, like, everyone's got their story. It doesn't make me special. It doesn't make me different from anyone else. We've all got our drive, the reason we do what we do, the thing that like drives that passion that gets us more into the moment. It's probably like that with hockey. When I'm in the ring, I'm not thinking of problems. I'm not thinking of bills, relationships, family, nothing. It's just me, my opponent, and I'm going to beat your hind end. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's kind of like it's our escape. Us athletes, we're a different breed.
100%. We talked, Ross, a little bit about, the athletes out there, and you want to talk with Kyle Arias, a fellow Chicago native such as you. When he started here with our program with Rhinos, he started out on the NA3 team, a Tier 3, the Tier 3 team. Sure. And just with his time and his dedication, he bought into our systems. And he played about 25 games on our NA3 team his first year here. And we just said, stick with the program. Just keep doing what you're doing and work hard, and good things will happen. And then by the end of the season, with the North American team, this is his full season here, year 2, and then he's still got another year. And he's doing extremely well. And I'm gonna introduce him to you after, because I knew you would want it to. But all acts of life takes time, patience.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll just say it's cool for me, being a Chicagoan, being a hockey guy, to look at the roster and say, oh, this guy's from Chicago, this guy's from Chicago, this guy, Kyle coaches the NA3 team from Chicago as well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
We have a lot of guys from, that neck of the woods, and we talked a little bit. My daughter plays in Culver, which is just south of Chicago. I love Chicago. I spent a little bit of time there.
It's because it's cold. That's why you like it.
I seen you coming in, and I'm like, hey, what's shaking over? I'm like, hey, that's Tessa.
That's Tessa. But Ross, you know what? Ross is the connection between the pro wrestling world and the hockey world. He's been in the pro wrestling world for how many years, Ross? Go ahead, say
Couple years.
A couple of years. 25 years, probably.
Gosh, he's wrestled
back to when you had hair?
I did. He stole my
He's
line.
part of the group now. The ball jokes are coming out.
Yeah.
Well, I got a forehead to match, so we're good.
Yeah. I had a full head of hair when I started this business.
He shows me a video the other day of Macho Man Randy Savage having a match. He goes, just watch it. And I'm like, well, what am I, like, I'm obviously looking for something. What am I looking for? And I just see Ross in the corner with a camera, and then he just gets like whammed by Macho Man Randy Savage. And I'm like, Ross, that's you with a full head of hair. He's like, that's what you got from the video?
Yep. So how long have you been doing this for? So have you done other duties in the realm?
No, I mean, I've worked in, I started in pro wrestling when I was in college, and started with the WWE, or WWF at the time. And, I've been working in wrestling ever since.
WWF, WCW, TNA, Impact.
Everywhere.
Yeah, it's strange when I mentioned WCW, guy's 25 years old. He's, oh, yeah, I know about that. I'm like, how do you know about that? They've been gone for 20 plus years. Oh, I saw it on WWE Network. I'm like,
there it is.
oh, okay, well, at least you know a little bit about
Me
it.
living in Mexico City, I've wrestled in Mexico, in Arena Mexico, for the past year. And Ross goes, oh, how are the Villanos doing? And I'm like, how do you know them? And I'm like, gosh, Ross just knows everybody.
Yeah.
That's when you've been in the business that long.
Been around the block.
Yeah.
And for you to be able to, I'm not saying stick with it, but still be part of it, it says a lot about you as an individual.
Thank you. No, it's been a fun business, and I enjoy it. Still fun every day, different every day, and it's not like I have to, truly worry about,
You love what you do. You don't work a day in your life.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it is, right?
Exactly.
So I got to ask you something. She's a little firecracker. This is the second time I've met her, and she's just a ball of energy. Is she tough to work with, to keep control?
Don't you kill my street
I bet
cred.
she's a nightmare.
A nightmare.
You tell him how horrible I am, Ross.
The worst. You
She's
only knew the
terrible.
stories.
If not, you're getting a bowl of olives later.
The worst.
You just bailed her out of jail this morning, did you?
How'd you know?
Yeah, it's
Right?
like that sometimes.
Yeah, just
No,
out of Juarez, Mexico.
It's been interesting, because when you're traveling with different wrestlers, you have to figure out what their personality is.
Yeah.
Do they have to hit the gym every day at a certain time? Do they have to have a meal at a certain time? We could probably do the drive-through somewhere, and it's like the wrestlers are like, I'm running around in my underwear on national TV. I'd rather not be doing
Have a
Have a Big
cheeseburger.
Mac.
Yeah, it's like I might like it, but it doesn't.
I'll tell you what.
But if you
though.
ordered a Diet Coke, it all balances out, doesn't it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Balance.
you're right.
Anything in moderation.
You're right.
I'll tell you what, though. Ross is probably one of the only people in my professional career because Ross is a good friend of mine, too, that has been through some of the very highs and the very, very lows with me and seen it all. Ross, I remember after Hard to Kill in 2020, we went on a 27-day media tour in Mexico, and Ross just got to see everything, and he's been there for me through the highs and through the lows, professionally, personally. He's
Right
seen
on.
it all.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's been fun.
It's been,
I'll
I can imagine.
if I'm not on the ice, I think I'd rather.
And I can't help but notice your sweatshirt, your hoodie, Four Nations.
Four Nations, yeah.
I noticed a little tear in your eyes. It was just we just dealt.
Well,
we dangled the carrot there and we just took it away from you. That's what we did.
Four Nations, the game in Montreal that I was at.
Oh, did you get to go?
Yeah, I went to 3 of the games up there.
Really?
Yeah, I missed the Sweden-Finland, which. But the last game up there, do you remember who won that one in Montreal?
It doesn't matter.
Nah,
It doesn't.
Just answer the question.
Well, the U.S. did. They did.
All right, there we go. Thank you.
But you know why we allow that? Just because victory would taste so much better
In Boston.
in
I know.
Boston. You know what I mean?
Couple days later. Now, I think if you're a hockey fan,
Unbelievable.
the greatest thing for hockey was that tournament.
It's in just the amount of people that watched it that weren't hockey fans.
Yeah.
And just did you get to watch it? Did you see some of the replays? I don't know if you're a hockey fan.
From the other night?
No, from the Four Nations.
We should.
Oh, yeah,
move
huge
on.
Four Nations fan.
So yeah, yeah, good one.
So I'll buy you dinner if you can tell me.
You see that one guy with the stick?
I was gonna
If you-
say,
if you
wow.
Tell me the Four Nations. I'll be very happy. You get dinner if you.
She
name
was
it.
in jail again.
Sorry, guys, we don't have TV in there.
Yeah. Oh.
But when the brothers, when they fought at the Kachuk brothers, when they dropped the puck and they fought, I think that was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
People like, oh, were they pulling punches? Not a chance.
No, if you look at those fights, man, those were about as live rounds as you could get.
Yep. And it was awesome.
Yeah.
And now that's hockey.
Yeah.
And then it just built, it built it up for the rest of the tournament and it did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
You're a media guy. You get it.
Momentum and excitement. It built for hockey across the board. Couldn't have done anything better.
The other night was my first live hockey
Seriously?
experience, and I was just like, "This is awesome! Kick his ass!" And I'm like, "This guy just chucked him up against the guardrail," and I'm like, "You asshole! You're not getting away with that!" And he did. He did. One guy. Do you remember the one guy that took
Oh,
his
yeah.
stick and chucked the other guy's stick up into the air? And I was like, "Told you, you're getting your comeback.
Right.
We did have a little penalty on that one. Though. That was actually one of the funniest.
Worth it."
It is.
I was like, "I think
moments
I
of
can
the
like
game.
this. I might be a hockey fan now, guys."
It's hockey's just it's the only sport I've really played. I played a few others, but obviously to the degree where I ended up. But it's just there's nothing like it, and it's legalized brutality,
Sure.
and you can get away with a lot, but murder, almost,
Almost.
which is like wrestling, right?
Yeah.
You can
yeah.
just brutalize somebody as much as you want. Oops, I'm sorry, but not really.
Everything that goes on up here just gets to come out in the ring, and we get away with it. It's all right.
That's right.
Yeah, I just athletics and sports are just there's nothing better. It builds character, discipline, and structure. I think it's just awesome.
Yeah, it's great. There's a lot of parallels between hockey and
100%.
and wrestling for sure.
I like watching wrestling. I'm not a big wrestling fan. I like it.
You just wait till Friday.
I like to see, the guys that are freaking on the cages and jumping like.
He'd like
You're-
the Hardys. He'd like
He
the
would
Hardys.
for sure. Like the
pardon
Hardys.
my terminology, but you got to have a big set of huevos to do that.
That is true.
I'm serious.
My huevos are
there's-
huge.
There's there's no way I would do that. No way.
Like I said,
Even off the
adrenaline.
turnbuckle.
Adrenaline is a hell of a thing. Like things that I'll go back and I'll watch videos or things that I've even done, and I'm like, God, I would not even do that in training. Like, I don't know, there's something that takes over when you've got like 22,000 screaming fans at you and you're just right there in the heat of the moment. You, this other person just giving everything, like, till you have nothing left. It's in those moments you'll do things just indescribable.
Yeah, I guess, just like anything, I guess. But it's simply awesome to watch. I just love the storylines. I love the chaos. I love the unknown. Mm-hmm. Prediction in hockey, you can kind of see how the game's going and the prediction of what could happen. In my opinion, wrestling, you don't have a freaking clue.
You have no clue.
Even more so now, TNA is partnering with WWE. So we're seeing like so many matchups, things that would just fans didn't know possible, wouldn't have even think possible, fantasy bookings that might have been out there that now it can be realistic on national television. You're getting the WWE people crossing over to our brand. It's insane.
And the greatest thing is just when you think you know all the answers,
you don't.
We'll change the questions.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. Whoever does that, kudos to them. Just to build that and the fan base is absolutely insane.
The craziest thing I'll tell you about the Hardys, Matt and Jeff Hardy been around probably 25,
one of the most
30,
decorated tag
30
teams.
years. I mean, arguably, again, as Tessa said, one of the best tag teams of all time. Their fan base is insane. Now, again, I'll tell you, I've known them for 20 years, but to me, it's just Matt and Jeff.
Yeah.
Like, they're just people I work with. But when you see so many fans, so many up-and-coming wrestlers, and see some of the wrestlers on our roster, oh, Matt, oh, my God, I got into wrestling because of you. Oh, Jeff, you're my all-time favorite. And it's like, you heard once, okay, when you hear it 10 times a night, every single show we go to, it's like, wow, I just didn't realize how big these guys are, how popular they are. When is that? I think Saturday after the show, we have a meet and greet with them. And we do these at every show we go to, and the lines are insane.
You guys are there until like 2 or 3 in the morning without doubt. Yeah.
Wow.
Lily will do it. Say we do a 2.5 hour show, they'll be signed for 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Without doubt.
And with no qualms about it. I'm sure.
No.
That's even better.
The worst thing when you go to an autograph signing is, here you go. Here you go. Yeah. And it's like, wait, I just paid.
They get to know everyone.
I just paid, some money, and like I barely got to say hi to this guy. And it's the opposite with the Hardys. Like, Jeff's autograph is a piece of art. Literally, you look at it, you're like, there's a face there, it's this, his signature, and they take the time to talk to you and interact. The fans always have a story. Oh, hey, could you tell me about that match in 2007, TLC match or whatever? And there's no rushing. We don't, hey, come on, we're going to move it along. Yeah, it's like we do it to a degree, but you want to talk to these people? They're there, and they don't really care. They know that I already have Outback waiting for them, and they're content.
This is an ongoing thing. Ross's favorite restaurant is Outback Steakhouse.
Shrimp on the Bobby.
Yeah.
You know what makes it better though is like when you start to get to know like not even just the Hardys, but some of these guys on a personal level. You start to get to know their stories, and then the fans get to know them in that way. It's like they can resonate with them and connect with them on a different level, and it might inspire someone. You never know who. It's probably like that with hockey. You never know who you're inspiring. You start to see these people, and they have their success like the Hardys, and it's like it doesn't matter your bank account. It doesn't matter what neighborhood you come from. It doesn't matter your situation at home. It doesn't matter if you apply yourself. You're resilient. You go out there and you get after what you want. You can do it. I was talking at the Walmart Memorial the other day with Benny Benavides, one of the families of one of the survivors, and it was like the red car theory, right? On your way here today, how many red cars do you think you passed?
Right.
You probably couldn't
10.
tell me. But if I told you, like, hey, I'm going to pay you $50 for every red car you see, you're going to start looking for it. And it's like that with opportunity in life, right? Like, if you're not looking for them, they're just going to pass you by. But if you're out there and you're like actually applying yourself, looking for it, you're going to see it everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
And back to the Hardys, for them to do that and spend the time, and I'm sure you're like that as well. You just seem to have that personality that you're very kind. I don't mean to be
You're killing
giving you
street
away,
cred
but-
right now. Yeah.
but that's what makes
Tell
people
no one.
successful, right? Like, and to give back to the community. So, people are paying money to come watch you do your sport and do that. You should give back.
We can't take them for granted. They're
No.
paying money. Some of them, I tell you what, especially around here at the border, living in Mexico City, seeing how lucha libre is culture here. some families, they will work all week just to be able to afford those wrestling tickets, just to be able to take their kids to see their favorite wrestler. And it's like, how the hell am I not going to stop to take a photo with like that? I can't fathom that.
No, and just like these guys, win, lose, they're out there skating afterwards with their fans, win or lose. And you get pumped 5-6-0. The last thing you want to do is go skate with fans.
Right.
For
You know, but it's like, you know what, guys? They're the ones asking for autographs. Little kids idolize you guys, and the players do it without hesitation.
Right.
El Paso has been, for us, like our experiences, El Paso's been nothing but welcoming and hospitable. As soon as we got here, it's like El Paso just opened their arms to us. Every radio, every TV, every community outreach, from the Children's Hospital to the memorial, it's just been, even here at the Rhinos, it's like, we couldn't ask for anything better. It's way above our expectations. It's just, even the guys at the El Paso County Coliseum, we are just so blown away with how welcoming everyone's been here and like integrating TNA as a part of the community.
That's awesome. And, you know, that is El Paso. I've been part of El Paso since 97, and it was the same way years ago when I came into town to play the pro hockey team here. Just people are just so kind and so warm and so welcoming.
It's that Latino culture. If you cook for one person, you're cooking for everybody.
Right. You know, like you're from Las Cruces.
Yeah.
You know,
my first job.
Yeah, so you have a taste of Latinos too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And there's nothing better. The culture's awesome, and you know, I'm blessed to have a wonderful family and to be here and work with the people that I am in the community that I serve. You know, it's awesome. Couldn't ask for it any better.
Amen to that.
But I just got a text message. You got 24 dudes over there waiting to meet you guys.
Are they already off the
They're
ice?
Already off
they got
the
too
ice.
cold. I'm
So
telling you, they got too cold.
Well,
I'm right
actually,
there with you guys.
They're trying to clean up and smell a little bit better for you because they're going to smell you guys out a
Appreciate
little
it.
bit. So, but I appreciate you guys stopping by this morning. Tessa, good luck this weekend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hopefully we see you again.
You keep that passenger seat in the
Absolutely,
Raptor
Tony.
free.
I'm gonna send you a text message on Friday when I'm heading over there. You know what I mean? Just open those north doors and I'm coming screaming in there,
open
buddy.
Remember
doors,
that
he's
one
coming.
surprise that we talked about? Nix it. We're bringing the Raptor.
Yeah, exactly. And Ross, it's nice to meet you
Thank
too,
you.
my friend.
Pleasure.
We'll talk again and
Absolutely.
again. Best of
No,
luck, guys.
thank you for having
so
us.
much, very much.
Appreciate it.
Best
What
of
an
luck with
honor.
your rest of your career.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.